In an age where everyone calls themselves a product leader, the best way to spot one is by observing whether he or she are a product mentor. Because, contrary to modern beliefs, one does not become a product leader by announcing it on their LinkedIn profile. Yep, I said it live on air. You see, what do leaders do? They inspire, they give hope, they assist everyone in getting the answers they need. Leaders are mentors, and this, my dear leaders, is exactly what we're going to discuss today in this Ask Me Anything session that is all about being a product mentor. Nice to meet you. My name is Maria Cassis and I'm the founder and general manager of Product League, where we help you to become the best product manager you can be. Product League is an international mentoring program for product managers by product managers in 30 countries around the globe, and you're lucky because 5 days are left for you to apply to become a mentee or a mentor on our program, and we can't wait to support you on becoming the best product manager you can be. Now today, as you know, it's all about the role of product mentor, and for that, three product leaders, three product mentors will join me here to answer all your questions about being a product mentor. Now, that's the troll. Being a product mentor, that's not for everyone, but it may be a good fit for you. So let's find out. Leaguers, get ready to learn from Martin Lazaga de Maria, live from San Francisco, United States. Group product manager at PostClick and Product League mentor. With experience in marketing, machine learning, content management, and artificial intelligence, Martin is a seasoned product leader passionate about solving real problems and adding value with cutting-edge technology solutions, and is here with us today.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
hello, good morning, good afternoon to all the audience, and thank you again for having me here. Super excited to be able to share my experience here as a mentor for Product Lead. So,
I love
thank
that.
you.
I love that spirit. I love having you here with us. By the way, that's not the first time that Martin is here on our stage. So we will also have some links to that in the chat, so you could follow that. And again, thank you very much for joining us. Super excited to learn more about your experience and from your experience. And what do you say? Shall we call Renee to join on our stage? Let's do that. Leaguers, get ready to learn from Martin Lazaga de Maria, live from San Francisco, United States. Group product manager at PostClick. Wait a second. Leaguers, get ready to learn from Martin Lazaga de Maria, live. This is not Martin Lazaga de Maria. This is a bug. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, this was a surprising one. I don't know what happened here, so I will just do it right now, live with you, and I'll ask everyone to shout out a big hello to our second panelist, Renee Bulala from Bavaria, Germany, principal and involved and product league mentor. Renee's first leadership roles in 2014 and 2015 were time to learn how to coach and guide product managers in their business and personal growth in over 100 product teams. His core knowledge is in product delivery and leadership, although we know he did some great hacks in product discovery as well. So you do not have the video, but I'll take care of that later. What's up, Renee?
I'm good. I'm Martin, by the way. No, I'm just no, having fun. No, it's great to be back here. I really love the AMA sessions and working with you guys. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. Again, I don't know what happened here, but this is product management live. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Just super, super, super excited to have you here with us. And as I mentioned about Martin earlier, the real Martin, we actually had Renee on our stage before. It was an Ask Me Anything session about e-commerce product management. We'll include all the links in the chat so everyone could follow that. And thank you again very much, Renee, for being on our stage. Now, I hope that I'm not going to have any more troubles, but shall we call Os to join us?
Yeah, a third Martin would be nice.
This was a good one. See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Leaguers, get ready to learn from Martin Lazaga de Maria, live. Okay, I have no idea what happened here. Officially, I have no idea what happened here. Something here is off, but that's product management live. Yeah,
No,
doesn't
I
make
love
us.
that. Well, I love the recovery that Renee did. I don't know if I can double on that one, but definitely Martina stole the show.
Exactly. I know. I'm gonna make it better for you. Don't worry. And I want everyone to get excited about us, Osnat Benary, that is here with us live from New York City. Thank you very much for joining us. Product and strategy at Dragons Can Fly and Product League mentor. Osnat is a product creator, the co-founder of Dragons Can Fly, a Web3 strategy and creative agency. She's an active mentor for startups and young professionals and an advocate of resilience and mental health in the workplace. Super important. And her book, Starting from Scratch, will be published in 2022, which means soon.
Very.
Super soon. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I hope that you can tell
Very
from my
excited.
face. Good. Happy, excited to have you here with us. Also, a link to a previous session you had with us where you talked about finding senior,
Senior
senior
product
roles.
management roles.
You don't need me here. Come on, you don't need me here. I should just give you the mic and go. Yeah, no more bugs. Exactly right. We'll link to that. Will be added to the chat. So excited to have you here with us. And now, shall we call you three Martins to join us on stage?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So Martin, the real Martin, and Renee. I hope you had some good laugh and great time while we were introducing everyone.
Indeed.
Things happen. Yeah, that happens. Okay, but never mind, because the real thing that is important here is the answers, right? And you guys are here, three Product League mentors, to provide the audience with all the answers that they need to understand does it mean to be a product mentor. Because it's really nice to talk about mentoring and leadership and stuff like that, but actually it involves your time, and it involves bringing yourself and your experience and connecting with someone else. There is a lot to it, and this is what we're going to discuss today. So how is it going to work? Before everyone registered RSVP to this event, we asked them, what is it that on your mind and heart when it comes to being a product mentor? And they told us. They submitted their questions, and we took these questions, we segmented them, we saw which of the questions were more frequent, asked by the many of the audience, what are the more interesting ones. And we took these questions, we gathered them together, we made them ready for this session, and all these questions are going to be answered by these magnificent three Product League mentors. But we don't stop there, because we also allow everyone in the audience to submit their questions right now. Okay, so everyone who is currently listening, watching us, please tell us, what are your questions when it comes to being a Product League mentor? And please show us some product love, because as the product managers we know how algorithms work. Okay, click like wherever it is that you watch us, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Click the like button, share it with your colleagues, because these guys have a lot to share, and I can tell you that it's going to be super, super interesting. So, Renee, Os, and Martin, what do you say? Are we ready to start? Let's do that. Okay, fantastic. So we're starting with the first question. Okay, it's a very interesting question. It comes from Kabir, and he's asking, what are the benefits of becoming a product mentor? Now, I personally think that this is such an amazing and important question that I want all of you to answer it. So who wants to start first?
I would say Martin starts. This will follow you the whole evening, Maria.
There you go. For such a presentation, then I will volunteer as a tribute.
Shall I play the video again?
No, awesome. So, thank you, Kabir, for this question. I think that definitely one of the benefits is, personally, I feel like it keeps you humble, and challenged all the time, because you start to know amazing PMs that are really hungry, to grow in their careers and really challenge you and really put you in a spot where you not necessarily always have the answers, right? And you need to, in some way, to dig into, to learn from them. So yeah, for me, like, to keep it short is, yeah, to keep you very humble, learning all the time. And yeah, that continues challenging, that is exciting for us as mentors and PMs to have in our day to day. So yeah, what do you
Yeah.
guys think about?
It really resonates with me what you just said, because I on a day to day, most of my time is on strategy and research, and things that are much more high level than the day to day. And I think that what it gives me, and my mentee and I, we meet once a week, and for me it's an hour that is a sacred learning time for me. And we go back to basics. I love my craft. I really think that my next job and next job and will be in product management. And so for me to go back to basics of the craft, and do it again, and remember things that I've done and be proud of my accomplishments, personal accomplishments, and then see someone grow with me, is extremely rewarding, on both sides. Like, I always, when people ask me how do I have time for this, I make time, because it really is gratifying. It's not just giving back; it's really something that is, something that is helpful for me, and I love doing that.
Yeah, and we love having you with us. Yeah, so thank you very much. And Renee.
Yeah, I used to be a tennis coach, by financing my studies. I used to be a tennis professional at the time. So I was financing my studies with actually coaching teams and whatever. And the biggest satisfaction always was seeing them grow, seeing them got better, seeing them, even if they lose, they see, things that they learned and all these kind of things. And it was the same in my leadership positions, watching my team grow and watching people getting better and accomplish things along the way, which we work on, is for me the biggest satisfaction I can get. Fun fact, even in consulting I thought I won't get it, but as we have junior consultants and some of them actually I'm coaching into the PO role, it's the same, giving them from the basics, like Ozzy were saying, right, starting from the basics and see how they work day to day with customers. And this is really cool. So, and then it's the same, of course, in the mentor mentee relationship, right? I love, in my last mentorship, it was so great when I heard the sentence, oh, this was such a breakthrough, right? And I loved that, and I felt so happy. So I really liked that. And of course I learn a lot from the mentees, right? So
We
yeah.
all do.
Yeah,
We all do.
indeed.
That's the thing about being a mentor. You actually learn yourself. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love everything that you just mentioned, and we got to know you a little bit better, knowing your history with tennis.
Yeah.
I may challenge you one day or not. Amazing. Okay, that was a great start. So thank you very much, everyone. Renee, we are staying with you, okay? Because William has a beautiful question to ask you, and he has a very practical question. He asks, "What are the commitments and the responsibilities required of me as a mentor?" That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, William. First of all, time. Yeah. So this is something that is required. Don't underestimate that you have also to prepare a little bit and think about what to do and how to progress, but it's time well spent. I always, when I hear my team saying I didn't have time for that, they got smacked on the head, because they have time. Yeah, but it's a matter of how you prioritize the time. So, and this is what you need to do, right? So you need to prioritize the time for the mentee. So that's the first thing. Then of course be prepared. I can only advise everyone to be honest. It's like a similar relationship, something like this, where you really have to be honest. If something you like, you didn't like, something maybe have been misunderstood or whatever. So this is something important. And of course you need to find out how you get through to your mentee, right? Everybody learns a little bit different. Now somebody's more visual, somebody's more textual, somebody need to read something or need to recap something. So it's a matter that you really quickly get to know somebody of how and he or she learns, right? So that you can find a way how to get the best out of the sessions, right? So, and yeah, and this is I mean, what I like to do is also give homework, right? So, okay, this is something we talk about. Can you prepare please something for the next session so that we can talk about it? And I think it's the same like in every coaching: ask a lot of questions and then try to get the answer out of the mentee, but what I do all the time is I change hats, right? I'm telling my mentee if I'm advisor now, or if I'm a coach now, or I just want something, to be done. Rare case, of course, but sometimes, but always be sure that you tell the mentee really what is your role right now, because it helps. It's the same in coaching.
Loving it, absolutely loving it. Thank you very much. And I think that one of the first things that you mentioned about priorities and focus is actually super, super important.
Yeah, exactly. So my favorite phrase is always, there is no plural of focus. I'm telling this as a consultant, even the C levels, because most of the C levels have problems in that. So, and this is also then for the mentee mentor relationship and the sessions you do. You have to be focused on what you want to achieve. So this will work a lot. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you very much, Renee. And us, are you ready? Yes.
Ready.
Okay, ready. Okay, another question comes from Oliver, and he's asking, how can mentoring another PM help you become a better, wait for it, people manager? Which is an amazing question.
Yeah. So actually, in my previous role, I had someone on my team that asked me how they can become a people manager. And they didn't really have an opportunity. The team was not growing, and we weren't hiring anybody for that team specifically. And I thought that, first of all, I love the question. I love the fact that that person put themselves forward and thought about asking me what is the path to that growth. And given that I knew that the exposure to be a manager wasn't coming, I actually offered them to mentor. And I think that that's kind of the best answer here. I think the fact that, being a people manager requires experience, and you will need to have that experience. You will need to get feedback as a manager, both as a real manager, as well as a mentor, like asking questions. Was that helpful? Was that clear enough? Should I bring other examples? Like, just be mindful to the fact that both of you are growing. So I think as a mentor, if it is your first time, really, focus on asking that. But if you don't have another opportunity in your role to become an experienced manager, start with mentoring, and you'll be surprised how much that togetherness of learning creates something magical. It's really, I think coming more prepared will make you feel more ready to be a mentor. But anybody can bring something to the table. You just need to be willing to, put in the work, ask for feedback, wanting to have that growth mindset, and definitely will put you on the right track to be a people manager.
Wise words. Thank you very much. And Martin, the real Martin, that will be our little joke for today. Zoe has a question to ask you. What is the frequency at which you meet with your mentee? And I have to say that this is a question that is being asked all the time. And before I'll give you the mic and I'll ask you to give us your answer, I want to say that there is no one way to do that. Okay, one of the things that we love the most at Product League is the opportunity to really treat every product mentor as a product leader. And once we recognize these amazing mentors as leaders, we trust the mentors to know what is the right frequency for the couple, for the pair of mentor and mentee to meet. So there is like no one solution that fits all. Okay, it can be from our perspective, Product League, it can be once a week for a shorter meeting, and it can be anything from that to once a month for a longer meeting. Okay, the thing is not to focus on the frequency, but about the quality. Okay, it's all about the cadence. It's about the quality and the opportunity to really open up and follow up on things. And as Renee mentioned, have some homework and stuff like that from once in a while. Okay, this is our perspective. And now, Martin, what do you have to share?
Yeah, awesome. I think it's a great question. And to be honest, I kind of treat my mentees as uh, personas, right? As product managers, we are used to to work with personas. And all of these mentees, these personas have different kind of qualities and needs. So for me, it's about to try to deliver a personalized experience with them. So it's more about what they really need. So I'm very, very flexible on keeping it relaxed, with them. Some weeks we actually meet, like more than once in a week. Sometimes, and depending what's their current status, what they're aiming for, we meet like once every 15 days if necessary. So it will depend on how engaged the mentee is and where they are in their career growth, right? Are they aspiring for a promotion? Are they aspiring like for, I don't know, like their first product experience? Are they actually focusing on a specific topic? So all depends a little bit like in that relationship and that situation of the mentee. Um, so yeah, that's the most important thing. So let's not confuse at the same time to keep this relaxed and keep it flexible on not having structured at how we are approaching to the mentee too, because I think that that's one of the most important things. Even if you meet twice, 3 times a week, always have an agenda, always have like the talking points and the things that we want to review, and which are specific the outcomes and takeaways that we want to have from those specific meetings. So yeah, hope that answers the question.
I love that. I love that very much. Just out of curiosity, Os and Renee, how often do you meet with your mentees?
We had a regular schedule for once a week, which turned out to be tricky and once in a while, but this is something I want to add to what Martin said. I love that. The thing is, if there is something interrupting your regular flow, always be sure to spend some time to get back into the flow again, because when you are in a flow, you're in the middle of the discussion, especially if you meet on a regular basis. If there but something happens that there is a gap in between, it's really hard sometimes to get back into that. So, and this is what I had an experience before due to several reasons. It was tough to get back in flow, but the outcome was even better than before. So it was really interesting to see that although we had to start a little bit more from scratch, now we created, at least as what I've been told, and I really enjoyed, a great outcome for the mentee, which is great. Yeah.
That's fantastic. If I'm allowed to add something on that, I think it's not just what you mentioned, which is super, super important. It's also about the communication of the reason why we have the gap, right?
Yeah.
If it comes from the mentors or the mentor or the mentee side, right?
Mm.
Because if there is a reason for that and we communicate it in a way that the other person doesn't feel like he's abandoned or not
Yeah.
appreciated, depends on the role, everything goes smoother. So it's okay. So we know that for one reason or another, we have a gap of some time now, and we know how to tackle that, and maybe to use the time for like reading a book or practicing something in real life that has to do with the mentoring, stuff like that. But as long as we communicate that, I totally agree with what you said. We can overcome this challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
us.
Yeah. So I'm mentoring for many, many years, and I think that every program is different. Some of the programs are very rigid, and they say you have to meet the person X amount of times, and this is the length, and this is the agenda, and others are more fluid. What I've done in the last round that I was a mentor with Product League is we actually had the first meeting as setting the goals, and the goal of my mentee was to look for a new job, which basically meant that we're going to meet as often as possible, because you don't want to. First of all, you want to help them prepare. You want to help them sift through all the noise. You want to be there for them to ask questions. And so really this is what we did. So we set up 30 minutes once a week. On my calendar, I tried not to put anything after. So sometimes we ran over. And those 30 minutes, and sometimes it was like a day before an interview, we were like texting each other after, like, just talk to me before, talk to me after. And we made it as much as possible as unofficial. The agenda, actually, we always had an agenda at the end of the session towards the next one. Like we didn't need to prepare between sessions. It was more about actually doing that, preparing 5 minutes at the end of, okay, what did we talk about? What is still open? What do we want to dig in again next time? And we remember that for next time versus the preparation, because the meetings were so often that I can say, me having my own company today and the book and all of that, I wasn't really able to create an agenda and come prepared. It was more something of like just let's make, the best out of the time that we did. But I think that I think that it worked well. Fun fact is that she is at a new job. And I wrote to you, Maria, that I was so happy that I was part of this. And it was actually during, one batch. So it was pretty quick. She is talented, I will say. But it was really fun. And I thought that what was good about it was the flexibility that allowed both me and her the right amount of time and the right amount of flexibility to work around, our dedication to this program, as well as our goals and, what we want to achieve from this program.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And indeed, these are fantastic news. Although I know that before, it's always, good to be reminded of that. And it is a great achievement. So thank you for your amazing work with your mentee. And thank you, Renee, for your amazing work with your mentee. And thank you, Martin, for your amazing work with your mentee, of course. And Renee, we are back with you because Oscar wants to ask you something. The question is whether you're ready or not.
Of course.
Yes, of course. This is the German way to say it. Yes, I'm so excited, of course. What is it like not knowing who your mentee will be? Now, this is somewhat of a juicy question that we receive a lot, because we do the matching using an algorithm in algorithms and data we trust. Okay, and this is how we do the matchings. So tell me, actually, how do you feel about not knowing who your mentee is going to be?
Yeah, you were doing the quantitative work, and then we doing the qualitative research.
I think my work is easier, but
Yeah. No, I mean, it's exciting, it's great. You don't know who you get, right? So what is the personality, in which phase of the life is this person, right? What kind of job is he or she in? That's super interesting. Also, learn about new businesses. My last mentee was in a business I've never knew before, so it was super exciting to get some insights there. This is how it is, right? So you really have to dig in and find out who this person is, what he or she wants. Yeah, often, coaches or mentees come with one goal, and after some questions you find out there is a other goal, the real one behind. And I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to that from the past. So if you have this curiosity and interest into people, right, then it's working fine, I think. So I really like it.
I like it too. Yes. Martin, maybe you want to add on something on that.
Yeah, we actually spent the first meeting to try and crack the algorithm. We were like, why were we put together? What were your goals? What did you ask? And then we actually both kind of understood that we're not, like, we didn't really understand what happened, but we were very happy that it was. But I was grateful to find someone that was as curious as I was. So it is a fun thing. It did work. We're actually still in touch, which is really, really fun. And I the thing is, I don't think that it matters who really is. I think that the intentions of both sides are really, really important. Like, are you committed? Are both sides committed to this process and to basically, being part of each other's lives and success going forward? Because it is, I learned a lot from my mentee and about myself even. And I think that, some conversations were more, some meetings we spent more time learning and unpacking things, and in others we just spend time together. So I think that, not all the time it will be like that. It will differ because people are different. And I think that really coming to this open and with the right intentions is the right way to go, versus knowing what happens before, because I don't think that it really matters, as long as the people are there for the right reasons.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I agree with both. And to complement, like I found myself like super excited when that happens, right? I'm curious by definition, you don't know what to expect. So for me, it's like very important, like to try to connect and bond with the other person. And maybe it's the nature at the same time of a product manager where you try different stuff. And as soon as you can fail and iterate and measure success, during the process, I kind of feel like it's the best way to approach this stuff. It's like doing a continual retrospective on yourself, how you are actually conducting this and how they are feeling. And the only important thing is like the outcome. That is like how you actually deliver to the community, to your mentee, key takeaways, and make this relationship really valuable for that person.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything that you guys mentioned. I want to add a few points from my experience. The first one is, I don't know if you guys will relate to it, but I feel that I need to work on letting things go. Because we are in leadership roles all the time, and there's like strategy to plan and things to plan, and I need to go over so many things at work. It's like an addiction to know what's coming. And this is an opportunity to like let things go, actually to be surprised, and maybe to find out, as you guys mentioned, that this is a very nice surprise, right? So this is the one thing that I want to mention. And the other thing, that even if things go a little bit south or not the way that you're expecting them to go, I think that for us as product professionals, this is an amazing opportunity to practice our skills. Okay, we grow as product professionals not only when mentoring goes amazingly and everything is like rainbows. When we actually find ourselves with someone who's a little bit different from us, for any reason that will be, and it challenges to like bring a different side of or aspect of ourselves, or to deal with things in a different way, if we can manage that and solve that issue, going back to the questions you were asked us, this is where we become better people managers. If you manage to work with whoever mentee that you will be assigned with, you are guaranteed to become an amazing product leader, people person, people manager, just the best, if you manage to do that. That's like my 10 cents about the subject. And I love everything that you guys mentioned. And we're staying with all of you because another fantastic question is coming from Ben. But before we'll do that, I wanted to ask the audience to let us know who they are and where they're from and what they do, because this way we will know how to tailor our answers the best for your needs. So please use the chat wherever it is that you watch us, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Let us know who you are, where you're from in the world, okay? What do you do in the product world? Because we really want to get to know you and to interact with you. So please do. And now, another question that goes to all of you. It comes from Ben, and he's asking, how do you deal with things going south between you and your mentee? That was not planned, but actually it goes back to the previous question, which is amazing. And I just love that. So guys, what do we do when things go in a different way than what we expected? And Renee, how about you start?
Talk about it. Like, feedback rules, my perception is, do you feel the same? Because, that doesn't have to be for both, right? So it can be single-sided or something. So we talked about it before. So you can, I believe that you can solve out most of the things. So if you are honest, if you talk about not only the matter, but also your feelings, right? So how do you feel when you are in a session? Not, yeah, this is the topic and blah blah blah. I think this will work out. But ultimately, and this is also something I learned along the way, not every mentee and mentor fits together, right? It's like in real life, not every employee and the leader fits together, right? So um, and it's the same in a private relationship. Yeah, if it doesn't work, you don't have to try to fix it forever. Yeah, just say, and you can be open like this in this kind of setup. Like, okay, listen, I don't believe I'm the right mentor for you, or the mentee can say, hey, listen, I don't believe you're the right mentor. I'm looking for something else. But no offense taken, right? Everybody can say that. So then we'll all together find maybe another constellation that works out much better.
Yeah, and here is where being a part of Product Lake actually comes as an advantage, because we are not a matching service. We are a mentoring program. So if something goes bad, it's not only about communicating with one each other. You can also communicate it with us, and we are there to solve things, and maybe match you with another person. So absolutely, Renee, communication is a key. So thank you very much for that. Us.
So I actually didn't even think about the opportunity to say, well, how about we replace each other? I really think that
It's an opportunity.
It's a rare opportunity to meet someone else and learn from them, or have an opportunity to learn together is maybe the better framework that I prefer. And if something doesn't work out, I think, like in any relationship, you really need to talk. You have to talk about it, and say, is it something I said? Is this the way that we do it? Is it, whatever the ideas that you can throw into what doesn't work. But I think it is really, really important. It's a very short time, and you can make so much out of it. So I think that to miss the opportunity to learn about yourself and how you are when things go south, I think would be a shame. But I really think that from me, I learned the most from when I didn't get along with my managers. Learned about myself in rare situations. Oh, thank God it was rare, but it did happen to me. And I think that helped me and grew me. And I also know today to look for those signs before, right? Like when I interview or when I meet someone and I see what it triggers in me, what it triggers in them. I think it's really a rare opportunity. And, I wouldn't give up. I would really take this as just another thing that you can get out of this program, which is not only to learn product, but also to learn people management and relationship and how does, giving back works. There's a lot to learn from this program.
Thank you very much. I should think how to turn your last sentences into a speaker. Yeah, that's going to be our next tagline on your t-shirts very soon. Thank you very much, Os and Martin.
So yeah, for me, it's about keeping it real. I think that's the common trend, right? We talked about communication, relationships. So to have a good communication, have a good relationship, yeah, it's keeping it real and humble and valuable, right? Because again, we need to be flexible. We need to adapt to the other person, right? So something that helps me personally, right, is in those intro sessions, what I try to gather is, what they're looking for. So that's going to be kind of like my North Star metric, where I am into, where I kind of aim, so we don't derail a lot, and we're not all over the place. And yeah, talking about having the agenda prepared, to avoid any kind of improvising or ambiguity, their time is valuable, so we need to kind of like keep it again like real and consistent. So last but not least, I would say like I don't like really to give answers to my mentees. I actually always do a lot of questions. They already have the answers, and that's one of the things that I like the most, right? Of like having this program, being a mentor, is that you help people realize that they can solve them by themselves, and we are here just to ask like the correct answers in the correct moments.
Yeah, I love everything that you just mentioned. Thank you very much, Martin. And Osnat, we are back with you with another question that comes from Chloe. And she's asking, if you don't know all the answers, what do you do then?
I love this question, Chloe. So first, I will say that being a manager or a mentor does not mean we have all the answers in no shape or form. What I do think it only says, it says that you have an experience that you're willing to share with someone else. That is what a mentor is to me. There's also like a sentence that says that a mentor can be a brain to pick, an ear to listen, or a shoulder to lean on. Which I love that sentence, because really I think pulling a mentor for whatever situation is something that is helpful. Specifically for this question, what I would do if I wouldn't know the answer, I would go around and show what I do when I don't know the answer. And go through my methodology of how I learn new things, or how I research new things, or how I ask and approach problems that I don't have access to. And together we might find the answer. But I think what I can teach from my experience is how I learn new things, and how I go into a new role when I don't know something, or how I go into a new industry, or how I speak to a user that I don't know. It's really around how I learn. And I think that I found my good way to learn new things. And sometimes it's helpful for others, and sometimes it just sparks other ideas. But I think that that's at least the least I could do as part of this.
Yeah, and that's true mentoring and leadership, right? It's not about giving someone else the answers. It's by demonstrating that something can be solved, right? Just by showing them how you do that. Like, there is a way, there is a path. Just start walking, start doing, you'll get there. It's about encouraging them. It's about showing them that we all don't have all the answers. It's a beautiful question. So thank you very much, Chloe, in the audience, for submitting that. It was a lovely one. And Martin, Sophia wants to ask you a question. Are you ready?
Awesome, of course.
Yes. So this question comes from Sophia, and she is asking, how do you balance work, life, and mentoring? Very practical question, which I like.
Hey, great timing for this question, right? Like, given COVID, all of us, kind of figure out this. So yeah, thank you, Sophia, for asking this. I think it's a very good opportunity to kind of share, and this is very personal, right? I think that nobody here managed this like in the same way. So, for example, I have this full-time job at PostClick, right? Thank God, it's a company that actually encourage us, to get better, as professionals, that balance our work-life balance. And that helps a lot to have specific spaces where I can focus on myself. I'm a father of 2 boys too, so I do have like a lot of extra activities, where you need to focus time and where priorities are. So keeping it as simple as possible. I'm not really, to be honest, concerned about needing tons of preparations for my meetings, for like with my mentee. I think that Oz mentioned something that was super like a good trick, right? Is to have after your meeting already an agenda, or discuss which are the topics that we're going to discuss in the future. And as you have time, and as you continue with your work, as you continue with your personal life, you actually have, like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on what's the topic and how comfortable you feel about it. Remember again that it's not about, having that pressure to kind of lead and do a monologue with your mentee. And it's not about that, right? It's about having a good conversation and be flexible and iterate on what they need at that moment. So I would say like it's wonderful. Like I really enjoy it, and I would like to continue doing it for several years.
Well, actually, you are continuing with us because you're joining us for the 4th time as a Product League mentor. Just saying, you are continuing with us. You're going nowhere. It's recorded. It's live. Everyone is here to listen, and it's on the internet out there. Thank you very much, Martin. We are back with you, Renee. It's another question that comes from Amber, and it's a lovely one. And she's asking, it's my understanding that in Product League, you can mentor a product manager from another country. That's correct. How do you handle cultural background differences?
Oh my
Martin?
goodness. That.
Yes. How do you
Oh
do
my
that?
goodness. Not at all, I would say. No, really. I learned one thing. Product is universal. So when you talk about product, you most talkly about the same things. That's the one side. The second side is that, of course, I try to find out what triggers the mentee, and try to consider cultural backgrounds a bit. But mostly then we talk about more than the personal level of coaching and experience. I've never really encountered a situation, and I worked with product guys from the US, from India, that it was difficult to work actually on the topic. The personal level may be a little bit different, of course, but more from the really product level, it was never a problem to work with the guys. So it's really tough for me to answer this because I haven't encountered so much really cultural backgrounds when it comes on the product side. It was whole different in sports. In sports it was completely different. So you had to deal with South African people, with other guys. They behave different, and you get to know them differently on the tennis courts. That's for sure. But on product side, maybe you guys can help me out a little bit from your experience. But from my page, it was quite relaxed, I have to admit.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I'm an immigrant here in the United States. I'm from South America. So, and I think that basically you learn to adapt and to celebrate diversity, and that's a great thing in product management. Like if we all had the same perspectives, if we all thought the same, we will have crappy products. Sorry, pardon my
Boring
French.
products. That's
Yeah,
right.
but definitely I feel like it's about that. It's about celebrating that diversity, different opinions, and different cultural backgrounds.
Yeah. Us?
Well, I'm not sure I have anything to add other than, people are people. You have mutual goals, and you're here to do your best and to make the most out of a very short time together. So whatever differences there are, language, time zone, culture, whatever it is, I think, coming together for a mutual goal, to achieve a mutual goal, always gonna triumphs everything.
Yeah, and I think acceptance is the key, right? So you have to just accept that people are different, and that different opinions can lead you to even better goals, right? Like what Martin said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about being leaders, guys. It's about being leaders. Exactly right. I love everything that you just mentioned. So thank you very much. And also, we are back with you with another question that comes from Shiran. But before we will ask you the question, I want to remind everyone that we are just about to move to the part of the session where we have an open Q&A and we answer your live questions. So please, wherever it is that you watch us, submit your questions in the chat and let us know. Let the guys here know. What is it on your mind and heart when it comes to being a product mentor? And Osnat, Shiran is here to ask you, what's the difference between mentoring a Product League member and mentoring someone who reaches out to you on LinkedIn and requests assistance? Oh my God, I am so ready to hear the answer. I'm here. I'm all ears.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this to you that I think that, when you guys have a team meeting, you're the one that you're probably saying, oh, she was just asking something again. Can you just try and get it? Because I'm the person that asks a lot of questions. And I think that the real, and I mentioned it to you that I hope I'm not spilling the beans here, but the difference is you and your team, that I can bother you. I can always send my mentee to you guys. Like, we were researching something, and I sent an email asking if you guys have a recording about something, because you have such a good list of content. So I was kind of pushing my mentee to look for a recording, something that is current, and maybe even a mentor that we can bring into the conversation. So I think really, that is the difference, that you guys are there. It's not that just one-on-one, which I do, but I think that having that framework of a learning, of a community, of other mentors, and really having someone that manages all of this and the cadence of it, I think is a big difference between everything else that I'm a part of, and that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm so excited to be part of the second batch.
Thank you so much for everything you said. I'm blushed in case you we'll use the opportunity to thank our team, Diana, Dan, and Amit, for the amazing work that you guys, I hope that you watch us right now, you do. So thank you very much for everything, guys, that you do. And thank you for the community, okay? Because it's not only about us helping you behind the scene, it's also about, the group and the sharing circles that we have where we interact with each other and help each other. So it's about way more than just us, the team. And as I love to say, we are not a matching service. We are a program. You are part of a community. To me, this is the difference. And I'm happy to know that you feel the same. It's not. So thank you very much for that. And Martin, what do you say? The last question, it comes from Naya, and I need to know if you're ready.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So Naya's here with a simple yet not simple question. Okay. And she's asking, how can I maximize my experience and benefit from this program? And I love that because she already has in mind the idea of maximizing it, not just, applying and then just rolling with that, but maximizing the opportunity. And it may seem like a simple question, but it's not. So we got you to answer it.
No, it's a great question, Naya, and really appreciate submitting this. So let's frame it this way. I think that Renee, Oz, and me, even more, we all have been like in your position, right? Asking ourselves, how can I actually maximize my experience of whatever program I'm going to? How do I maximize the use of my time? So my simple answer to this is that here we are, trying to deliver what we actually received in the past. So deliver to our community, to the community of product managers, and help them, to succeed, specifically on whatever they need. So for me, again, I think it's like having this opportunity, to have a personalized experience with somebody that is working in a day-to-day with this, that is like solving real world complex problems, for different kind of industries and use cases, and you can leverage, all that experience in having a one-to-one, and having, again, like very, very focused and customizable sessions with your leader. So I feel that that's definitely like the best way to maximize it. Be very clear, be very vocal of your goals, and definitely we were going to be here to help you to accomplish those.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying very wisely is that mentors should know what is their goal, not just what the mentee's goal, right? Because if the mentor knows what is the goal that they want to achieve, and they plan these 4 months according to it, so we're already set for a better maximizer experience. Wise words. Thank you very much for that. Now, this part is done, but a cool part is coming. Another cool part is coming, because here we want to ask you, what are the questions that you think that the audience should have asked you? We call this part of the session the question that was not asked, okay, where we ask you to tell us what is the question that you think that the audience will be very much benefited from and can learn a lot from this question to being asked. So you both ask the question and answer the question, and I'm going to challenge you, because we have 7 minutes left. We have 3 of you to ask and answer the question, and we have some questions from the audience. But we love challenges, don't we? We love challenges. Okay, I'll take it as a yes, as an eager yes. We're starting with you, Os. The question that was not asked.
Okay. So I asked something that very similar to what Naya was asking. So it's good. I know this will help me, but after a few sessions, then what? And my answer is to never let go of a learning mindset. I think that it's the biggest gift that a product manager has, that part of our job is to have a learning mindset and to constantly learn about our users, our industry, about our competitors, about what's going on. So I think making sure that you attend the sessions, or if you can't, then attend the recordings, being part of the community, really put in as much as I think you get back as much as you put in. So really don't stop learning. And then you can also ask your mentor or other mentors in other events, ask them what else you can learn.
Love that. I love it. Thank you very much, Os. We learned a lot. And Martin?
All right. So I basically choose, what qualities make a good mentor. And again, I think that's one of the things that's the most important in my perspective is like keep it real and humble. Being a good listener, value diversity of perspectives, be knowledgeable, right? So you need to have definitely, a good sense of what you're talking about, able to give constructive feedback to the mentees too. And yeah, again, coming back to being very honest and candid as possible.
Yeah, honesty is a big one. Thank you very much for that, Martin. And last but not least, Renee.
Yeah. So the question I would ask is, so the mentor gives me an advice I don't like or is out of my imagination or something really weird. What should I do? There is a very easy answer. Try it. So, that even if there is something on the table, there is on the first glance, like, what the hell? Just, there may be a reason, or there is a reason why the mentor is saying something like this or recommends something to do. So it's more limited to the imagination, I would say, than actually doing it.
I love that. I love this question. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Now, are we ready to take one question from the audience? What do you say? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so
Yeah.
the first question,
Sure.
where is it? Okay, it comes from Karan. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Please forgive me if not. And he is asking, are there certain frameworks you take for approaching product management with your mentee? How does it all start? What are the stages like? So actually, it's 3 in 1. Okay, and let's focus on the latest 2. Okay, how does it all start? How do you start your approaching your mentee, the journey, the product journey and adventure with your mentee? And what are the stages like? I love this one. Thank you, Corinne. Who wants to start?
I can start. I think that as product managers by default we all have different kind of frameworks and approaches, but having a framework is important. So having a way to actually everything we do and whatever we're gonna do, be able to measure success of it. So I think that's the most important thing, and that talks about like how we set up expectations with our mentee, and how we're going to approach this. So I think that that's like the first step.
Can I stop you here for 1 second? I truly apologize for that, but this is awesomeness at its best, because just a few days ago, we had a poll on our LinkedIn page, okay, where we asked, what do you think is the biggest challenge product mentors have to face? And 65% chose unrealistic expectations. That's it. That's my part here. I just want to say that this is a big one, what you're talking about. It's like 65% of the audience showed that thing to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, totally. I don't know, you guys, what you feel?
It's so fun, because the first thing I do is get to know somebody and ask a lot of questions. I don't bring a framework in the first meeting because, I will draw out of the drawer the things I think for after getting to know somebody and the challenges and try to dig deeper behind the facade will give me then the guidance of how I can get through to this person and what framework I can use. So I have the framework, but for me it's the second step. Yeah.
which goes back to the fact that there is no one way to do mentoring. And that's a good one.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
for sure.
Renee. Us, yeah.
Yeah, I think goal setting, or a kind of like what problem you're trying to solve, which is, you know, a question we ask in product, is relevant here as well. And if you align on goals and you choose the framework afterwards, I really relate to what Renee was saying. It's like, we don't work by a framework, we work with people in a very short time. And I think that, you know, there could be multiple ways to reach a specific goal or multiple goals. It's just important to put them out there and know that you're kind of marching towards them, or actually say, well, that's a big goal. Let's align expectations, and this is what we could achieve in this time frame. So
yeah,
Amazing.
and this brings me actually to the last part of the question with the stages, right? So
Yes.
it's so funny that also the stages of team building, right, norming, storming, all these kind of stuff, it's similar in a mentor-mentee relationship. Yeah, first you get to know each other, and, you know, sniffing who is that person, right? And I don't know if it's poor translation from German, but we have this kind
It was
of
beautiful, actually. It was like a
and
poetry.
yeah, and then, you know, you go from, okay, you know, maybe even like, okay, you get to know, and then you misunderstand each other, to some phase where you actually have an alignment, and then you go to an outcome, right? So these are the things I experienced, that there has to be, you know, some friction. I think this is normal, and in this kind of relationship, because you start getting to know each other and understand each other. But, you know, in German we have a phrase: it's friction creates warmth, right? So, and this is what often works in these relationships. Yeah.
I love that.
I realize how poor the translation from German phrases are in English. I'm sorry.
we got it. We got
I
it.
love that. Yeah, not only that we got it, it also goes back to the fun of meeting people from other places and opening up and exploring new cultures. And at the end, it's all product, but the most important things is the people, right? And it's fun meeting new people, a new culture. So thank you very much, Renee, for educating us with this new phrase, this brilliant phrase. So thank you very much. I had the best time, guys. What about you?
Yeah, totally. I
Enjoyed
yeah,
it very much. Yeah,
I think
thank
it's
you.
very transparent that we all like enjoyed a lot. I think it was a
Yeah.
great conversation. You know, a lot of common threads, and the most common thread, I think, is like, yeah, we are really caring about, you know, our audience and our mentees, and try to deliver again like the best takeaways for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I meant to say, you are product leaders, true leaders. This is what true leadership is all about. So thank you very much, Renee, Martin, and us from New York City, United States, us not binary product and strategy at Dragons Can Fly, and product league mentor from Bavaria, Germany, Renee Abuelala, principal at Involved and product league mentor, and from San Francisco, United States, Martin Lazarga de Maria, group product manager at Postleague and product league mentor. I am Moya Cassis, this amazing, talented product leaders. These are the league. This is the league. These amazing mentors. So thank you very much for your contribution, for your answers, for everything that you just shared with us. I can't wait to see who will join us from the audience for our next batch of Product League. Eager, extremely eager to support everyone in the audience on their product journey. And until next time that we will meet here, go league it up. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice evening.